Just 1 second. I'm gonna bring my mic a little bit closer so that I can really get into it. Oh, looks like I already have some color on my big brush. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use just a little wash of color to kind of sketch out what I'm gonna be painting. It's gonna be very, very light. So let's see where to start. Alright, so this is gonna be my pot. It's a cool, very like geometric pot, so it's like kind of nice. Very straight edges, so this is gonna be it. And it's got like this and this and this. I actually don't like painting anything too precise because then you have to be very precise. I prefer organic shapes just for painting because like I can get really lost in the geometry of stuff and then I'm like, oh, this circle's not perfect or like this line's not straight enough, like, when you're painting buildings and stuff like that, it's always like it just ends up being very geometrical. Is that a word, geometrical? I hope it is. It is now. So that's kind of why I avoid it. I'm not saying that it's not like, I love when other people do it. It's the kind of thing that I'm like admiring other people for being precise, because I am not. So this plant is gonna go like right here. Good. This is how you sketch things out in watercolors. You have like a plant leaf here, and a plant leaf here, and one that comes out like this, and one that comes out like this, and a really long one right there, and really another big long one right there, and one like that. And that is my pot. And I'm gonna ground it a little bit with some grounding shadow right here. Bam. Ooh, wow, this microphone is crazy because it is picking up an airplane, I believe, is flying across. This sound is me rinsing out my brush. And drying it off. So I think I'm just gonna start with the pot and give it a little bit of dimension. Make sure that I got this nice. This light in here is very strange light. But I hope you guys are okay with it. God, you guys. Hey, you guys. So you can hear my wind chimes. Like I said, it is something that I got to kind of make my space a little bit nicer now that I'm like at home a lot. And I like it. I like wind chimes. It's pretty, it's a very hippie thing, I guess. But we're all a little bit hippies now. Like, I feel like everybody's like into crystals nowadays and like that kind of stuff. Everybody's got some like clear quartz. I have some. Maybe I'll bring it out for next video and paint with crystals and see how that goes. Just to be like, hey guys, check out my many, many crystals that I have. I just think that they're so pretty. So this pot that I got kind of has like a nice gold tone at the bottom, so I'm gonna give it a little bit of that. And then we're gonna add the geometry a little bit later when the stuff dries. You have to be very, very patient with watercolors. At least I do, I'm doing and how much color I'm depositing and what the color is doing, and just being very patient, letting things dry and letting things do its own, letting things develop on their own, which is a very good lesson for watercolor and for life, not rush the process. I think I personally a lot of times get very impatient and I want something to happen right away, and I get impatient and I hate waiting and I try to force things, and that's when I end up being very unhappy. And you can't force things, you gotta let them develop on their own. As painful as it is to wait, you're just gonna have to enjoy the process. And usually what I do, I'm waiting for watercolor to dry. I will just, work on something else. Sometimes I have a few paintings going on at once, which is kind of fun. I will start one, and then I will do, another one while one of them dries, and that way you can maximize your time. I'm gonna add a little bit of yellow to the base of this because there is like a pretty yellow tone. I just love watching colors bleed into one another. Sparks joy. So, what else? Oh, there's this like really pretty kind of teal color I'm gonna add to the tip of the aloe plant. Might need a little bit more. Yeah, aloe is a very useful plant, and pretty too, but just very, very useful. There's all sorts of things that you can do with it. If you ever had a sunburn, you know what I'm talking about. So hopefully some of this stuff is dried and I can go in with a smaller brush and add a little bit of detail to it. Like in this base part. It's still pretty wet, actually, which is fine. It'll just add a little bit more color to it later. It's so weird how wet it still is. Wet. I'm gonna pick up some of that color with this big brush, which is dry. So bear with me, I am still new to this ASMR video game, very new, and still learning, so I hope I'm doing okay. Let's see if that soil is a little bit dry so I can add a little bit of detail to that. That's still pretty wet as well, but that's okay. Because I can add the paint and we can watch it just spread. We can watch surprised. It's like somebody's really playing that. I'm gonna add a little bit more structure to this pot. Somebody was asking me if these paintings are for sale, and honestly, I didn't even think about it. They are for relaxation. But if you ever feel like you love one of these and you want to buy it, you can always leave a comment and I will add a store or something. I don't know how that works. That is looking better. Definitely looks more like the pot that I am looking at right now. here. That part. That part. I kind of want to add a little bit of blue. I don't know why. It's just blue is calling me. I know I don't usually have a favorite color, but this shade of blue, I'm just gonna like put it down in the shadow. This shade of blue is just so pretty to me. Isn't that pretty? I love that blue. It's just so nice. So aloe has these little dots, so I'm gonna add those. And they'll blend. Aloe also has these little spikes, so I'll add those too. Which is kind of funny. It's like, come on, aloe. We know you're so nice. Why do you have these spikes? Who are you trying to fool? Spike, 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 spike. Spikes, spike, 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 spike. What a fun little alien-looking plant. Well, at least my painting of it is looking like it's a little alien. I don't know that in reality it looks like an alien. It's just in my painting it's looking a little weird, not gonna lie. So I think that's it. I think I'm gonna stop here and just call it. I'm gonna go ahead and sign it. And if you like this video, please leave a like. And if you feel like it, subscribe, because that's gonna let me know that you want me to make more stuff